If you've had a spinal fusion, herniation, or bulge, any kind of history of chronic back pain, you've been trying to train your quads, right? A lot of the common lower body exercises cause some back pain. You want to hit your quads. Today's video is going to be perfect for you. I'm going to give you 4 of my favorite quad exercises that are safe for the back, that build strength, and you can have fun in the gym at the same time. If you're new here and you want to learn how to use exercise for your sensitive back, you want to learn how to apply it to your situation and not cause more pain and damage, go grab my free guide, fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training, fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training. So the first quad exercise we're doing is the stability ball narrow stance front squat. All you need is a stability ball, a wall, and some weight if you want to make it really, really hard. So the first part, the most important part, is the setup, because you can do this wrong very quickly. What you're going to do is when you're putting the ball, you want to have it lower on the hips. If you have it too high, as you come down, your butt's going to sink under the ball, and you don't want that if you have some kind of sensitive low back. So what you're going to do is I'm going to put the ball here. She can get adjusted as she's kind of going into the exercise. It might take a rep or two to kind of get set up, but have the ball starting on the lower side, just so you can kind of protect your low back when doing it. Go ahead and give me 1 set. Our feet are going to be close together. And the key when doing this is you want to focus all of the energy here. So you're almost like trying to keep a constant contraction. You're not trying to like push up and then relax and then go back into it. Instead, what I want you to do is keep it tight, contract it, come down, contract it on the way up. Now, pause for a second. That's just body weight. You can do those nice and slow, nice and controlled, making sure that as you're coming down, this stability ball stops and is almost supporting that lumbar spine. So the ball should be right about here when she's at her lowest depth, okay? So with the weight, grab the weight, just hang it down by your side. Same thing, go nice and slow. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Come down again, constant contraction right here on the quads, and just drop the weight. There you go. All right, so the second exercise is the quad dominant frog squat. Very simple, looks complicated, but it's really powerful. So what you wanna do, get into position here. The key is when you're sitting back, you're gonna be a little bit wider in the knees so your butt can fit in between your shoes. So basically you're gonna look like this. So you're not sitting like this, you're here. Allow yourself to kind of sink a little bit deeper into that position. Now, when you do this, the key is you're focusing on the quad. So as you're lifting up, and what she's gonna do is before she lifts off, she's gonna contract her quads. She's also gonna contract her glutes. So before she lifts off, she's gonna do that, contract, ribs are down nice and tight, and she's gonna come to the point where she feels a lot of tension in her quads and it's really tight. She's not gonna relax. She's gonna hold that tension and then come back into it. Every time she comes up, she's gonna squeeze the quad, come up, come up, come up, making sure that everything is nice and locked in, ribs are down, abs are on, glutes are on, come back down, and relax for a second. The key is to keep the constant contraction. If you come up and you relax, and you come back down and relax, it's not gonna be as good. Squeeze it, come up, nice and tight. You can make it harder by just adding weight. You can hold a kettlebell like this, or however you wanna hold the weight, but just keep it close to your body, nice and close. Contract, then lift, squeeze, 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 making sure there's no extension in the low back, ribs are down, abs are on, come back down, give me 2 more, squeeze, 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 don't relax, and done. That's it. All right, so the third exercise is what I call lock squats, all right? What you're gonna do is there's machines at gyms that are set up like this. If you get creative, you can do this on like a leg extension or leg curl machine at your gym if you have that. Just look at what the setup looks like and then try to recreate it at home or at the gym. What I have here, and all you really need, is a barbell and a foam pad and something that's gonna kind of keep your feet locked in. You can also have a buddy hold your feet down and it'll work just as good. So the key here is keeping the quads under constant tension. That's the goal here. This is the secret sauce to this exercise. So what I'm doing, I've got her all the way up against this bar. I've got the foam pad that's gonna protect her. What she's gonna do is as she goes back, she's gonna try to stay upright, but she's gonna adjust for obviously her gravity, because gravity's gonna wanna try to pull her off of her center. So she has to adjust, but as best that you can, try to stay as upright as possible. So go ahead, back and knees up against the pad. She's gonna go down, Ribs are down, back up, and she's gonna come up and she's not gonna rest. You don't wanna have her rest. She's gonna squeeze, come back down, squeeze, 2 more. Last one, stop. So again, the goal is to hammer the quads, making sure that we're not resting on the transitions. Be really slow, nice and controlled. If you wanna add weight, you can. Just know that it will adjust and kind of change the way you hold that weight. So protect your back, be safe, the quad lock squat. So the 4th and final quad dominant exercise is the modified sissy squat. There's lots of variations of the sissy squat that you can do. The more intense ones are probably not back friendly right now, but you can start here and get an awesome workout. It's a toughie, okay? So be prepared. What you're gonna do, you're gonna have your knees a little bit within shoulder width. It's just a natural knee position, nothing too crazy with that. Before you go down, the key thing is getting locked in so that your low back is not taking the load, okay? So the movement we're gonna do is tough, so the focus needs to be bringing the ribs down, bring the pelvic floor on, and a slight glute contraction. What you're gonna do with that is essentially you're trying to make sure this here is all locked in and you have a good glute contraction. That's gonna help protect the low back and make sure that what should be taking the load is taking the load and we're not defaulting to our back, okay? So before she goes down, the emphasis again is on the quads. We're looking for constant tension, not like a kind of a rep 1, rep 2, but a constant almost pumping action. So from here, what she's gonna do is she's gonna stay nice and locked in, super tight here. Glutes are gonna be on, and she can hold her hands up by her chest, doesn't really matter. She's gonna come back nice and slow. See how she's trying to keep a straight line, loading the quads, and then she's using the quads to come back up. Do it again. When this goes south and it becomes a bad exercise to do is when you come down, you've gone too low, go ahead and break, she'll go too low, and then as she's coming back, she's like, oh, I gotta get back up, and she does this kind of number. You wanna stay away from that. So only go as low as you can manage and handle, keep everything locked in, and you should be good to go. And that is it. Those are the 4 quad back-friendly exercises that you can do. I hope you enjoy them. Let me know in the comments what your favorite one was. Don't forget, if you are new here, be sure to grab my pain-free training guide. If you are in the gym, if you are in pain, you have a history of any kind of surgery, any kind of chronic low back pain, the guide is gonna change your life. Get that at fitnessforbackpain.com/pain-free training.